As this nation is in turmoil, people across this country are protesting racial inequality in this country. People are protesting how people of color are treated. People are saying across this country we're sick of it. But not Douglas Ducote. He's not sick of it. Dougie's cheering it on. Because that's what they teach him at his Klan meeting. To cheer it on. You know what Dougie's worried about? Dougie tells us that there's more white people killed by the cops than there are blacks, so Dougie doesn't see a problem. Do you, Dougie? You don't see a damn problem with that, do you? So, people across this country are protesting racial inequality. You know who Dougie's worried about? Dougie's worried about MSNBC and who they're hiring as an analyst. Old Dougie's got his pants all up in a twist because MSNBC hired somebody he doesn't like. You'd think somewhere in Dougie's freaking brain or on his Facebook page or his YouTube channel, you'd think Dougie would come out and say, yes, racial inequality exists in this country. And yes, we ought to do something about that. And yes, Dougie is sick about that. Dougie's not sick about it. Dougie doesn't give a shit. Dougie says when the looting starts, the shooting starts. Dougie says send the 82nd Airborne against peaceful protesters. We can tell where Douglas Ducote's racist heart is. We can tell that, Dougie. We can see it. Have you any empathy, Douglas Ducote? Do you have any understanding of what it's like to be black in this country and be treated differently? Nah, you don't. You ain't got a freaking clue. Which we could pass that off, Dougie, as you just being a dumb motherfucker. What we can't pass, Dougie, is you not even wanting to know. You don't want to know, do you, Dougie? You don't want to know about the racial discrimination in this country, do you, Dougie? You don't want to know. You don't care. Douglas Ducote tells us what he's all about. No mention by Douglas Ducote of those people of color, those black men and women that he served with in the Army. No mention by Dougie about his fellow veterans, those African American veterans that he served with, that Dougie understands, or is at least trying to understand the plight of African Americans in this country. Nah, Dougie doesn't give a shit. Dougie says shoot them all. You protest racial inequality in this country, Dougie wants you shot. How dare you? How dare you in Douglas Ducote's America come out and say something like that? How dare you stand in the freaking streets with a sign that says Black Lives Matter? How dare you, says Douglas Ducote. How dare you, says Douglas Ducote. Douglas Ducote's more worried about who MSNBC has hired as an analyst. He's more worried about that than he is about black men being killed in this country by the police. Dougie says, well, those police, they're all good guys. They're just a few bad apples. Dougie doesn't realize those bad apples make all of them look bad. Make them all look bad when they stand by and let this shit happen. Dougie doesn't give a shit. Dougie's a fucking racist. How low can Douglas Ducote go? That's the freaking question. How low can he go? We know, Dougie, all the way down to the fucking sewer. Because you're a fucking racist. Douglas Ducote is. And you can quote me on that, you ignorant fuck.